Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday here. Is it Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, people. It's this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And I am Naaila, contributing counselor here at About Islam. As always, my questions and our discussion will cover this relationships in some way. And I do have questions that are already submitted to me, and those are the first ones that I'm going to cover. If you do have a question during our time together, please feel free to go ahead and send a message in, and I will do everything I can to be able to answer it. You can submit it in the inbox at About Islam, and the good folks at About Islam who help me be organized will make sure that I get it. The other thing is that if you're comfortable, depending on what your question is, you can put it right here. Please be mindful that I am a therapist. I am not an Islamic scholar. I am Muslim first, alhamdulillah, but I am definitely a therapist. So in regard to things that require religious scholarship, Naaila may not know. And even if I do know, I may not feel comfortable answering. Okay? All right. So, how are you all today? As always, y'all know what I do, and I see that people are here in the room. So, what I would like to see happen is for you to let me know where you are, who's here today, and where are you at in the country. Y'all, let me be a traveler. Let me know where we get to go, where I get to travel to today with my connection to you. Okay, inshallah. Keep the hearts and the likes coming. I love them. It gives me some reinforcement. You know, when I do lives, I love it when I get some feedback and some interaction or something from you. Let me know you're there, because right now the only thing I've got is this little number in the corner. So I know you're there. Jules. Walaikum salam. She's from Detroit. All right. Thank you so much from saying hi all the way from Detroit. I'm going to tell you, Detroit has a little special spot in my heart because that is where I was the very first time that I was ever exposed to Islam. I was in someone's house and I saw how they lived it, and I saw them praying, and I just saw how Muslims live. That was something that I had never, ever seen before. As a matter of fact, that same woman whose house that I was in, she led me to Islam. So Detroit is in my heart center. Wa alaikum salam, Ayan. Thank you for joining us from London. See, y'all let me go all over the place. I've just been to London and Detroit in like less than, 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on the questions that I have for today. All right. And the first one is a parenting one. Raising my kids would cause me to leave my work. I feel depressed, and I can't get along with the idea of leaving my career to be a housewife. Okay, although I feel guilty for leaving my kids at this age and putting them at a nursery with strangers, please tell me what to do. Okay, all right, so I'm trying to make sure I understand the question. Okay, all right, so you're battling the feelings of motherhood, and you don't like how you feel when you come up with the idea of leaving your career and to be a stay-at-home mom and staying home with the children. I totally get it. I will tell you, one of the worst moments of my life was after because I didn't have to do it with my oldest son, because when I had him, I was in school. But when I had my daughter, after having been home with her for several weeks, I remember going back to work and having to hand my infant, my newborn baby girl that I'm still nursing, over to a babysitter. And that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to say to you, is that you said handing your child over to strangers in a nursery. I've worked, I stayed home for a couple of years, and then I went to work. But I want you to consider some other child care options that might be able to give you some ease. You don't have to use a nursery. My children never went to daycare. My children never went to a nursery. But by the time they did, they were old enough to talk and to convey to me. At that point, they called it preschool. But when they were babies, they never went to daycare. That wasn't something that I was comfortable with. And see if you can find someone who can take care of your children at home, who may already be a housewife with her own child, who would welcome being able to take care of your children, and now she will be able to be at home and have money of her own. That's a win-win. I can be home with my child, I can take care of yours, and I can make money, and I don't have to leave my house. I like the idea. I want you to think about that. It can be a struggle. Everyone is not meant to be to be a stay-at-home mom. Everyone is not meant to be a housewife. I know that I'm not. And for me, it's not because, oh, I just have to work. For me, that's not my issue. For me, my issue is that I want to be able to have my own money to do the things that I want to do. Everyone has their own motivation for it. And if this is where you are, it is going to be incumbent upon you to look for other ways to be able to soothe yourself. You don't have to have these traditional setup of, well, I have to go to work and my baby has to go to daycare and I have to suffer through it. The other thing is that if you're going to use a daycare, it may cost a little bit more money, but you can use the child care facilities that have video all day. There are some that will allow you to use an app where you are able to watch your child and see the care of your child during the day. So there are a lot of things now that are available that were definitely not an option when I was having my children, that are available for parents that are in a similar situation to give you some calm. So I want you to think outside of the box. It may even be that you work part-time. Maybe you don't work full-time just yet. You work part-time and keep your foot in the door for your career rather than go full-time, and that way you don't have to be away from your baby all the time. Just think non-traditional and see what you can come up with. Okay, let's see who's joined us. Wa alaikum salam. I think that's Hachni. Let me know if I said it wrong. All right, wa alaikum salam. We have someone here from Kashmir. Yes, Amy, we do need Islamic daycares. I totally agree. Wa alaikum salam, Faisal. I am Wondermus. And how are you today? But, fortunately, I am here in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's a large Muslim population here. So I have to say here, there are Muslim daycare options. There are Muslim school options. I happen to live somewhere where we do have some options, alhamdulillah. But before I lived here, I lived in North Carolina, and there weren't as many. There weren't as many to choose from like you're talking about, Amy. And what I did was I found someone. I found a Muslima who was at home with her children, and she took care of my baby, and she loved my baby immensely. I was never concerned about my child's care. So I believe that if we put it out there, there is a way that we can get what it is. Yes, Amy, I did. I said Georgia. I'm in Atlanta. All right, so I'm going to go to the next question. It really is. It's another motherhood one. Moms are hitting it hard today. Okay, she says, I feel I'm a bad mother. Throughout the day, I'm yelling at my kids. They make me feel out of control. By the end of the day, I start crying for how I dealt with them as they were just playing and needing to have fun. I feel I need to be a kind and caring mom, not a scary mom. As my child called me, please advise. You know, Mom, some days we do the best we can, and some days our best isn't isn't the best look. And what I would advise to you is that you find you some breaks. You know, and I don't know if your children are old enough to take naps during the day. If they're not, one of the things that I always say to moms, children need structure. And it doesn't have to be, all right, at 1:30 they have to be lying down. Well, it could be somewhere between 1:30 and 2:30 they take a nap for the day. And to get them accustomed to those things. But it's going to require for you to take some time. I want to call them moments. You know, very often we tell mothers or any parent, because this is for fathers too, that you need some me time. You have to take a day. Everyone doesn't have a day. Everyone doesn't have somewhere to leave the children for a day. And I'm going to say, your fathers, I love you, but some of you will not stay home with your own children. I don't like it, but it's the truth. All right? They're yours. You don't babysit your kids. Those are your children. And some fathers will not do it. All right? So what you do is you get it in intervals. You get moments. It may be that you pull away for 10, 15 minutes. And usually what parents do, they may get 10, 15 minutes and they'll use it to be on the phone, you know, to start dinner, to make a call, to go to sleep. What you need to do is, one, I recommend taking the moments to maybe get some rest. Don't pick up that phone. Don't get on social media. Don't do those things. You're going to need to get you some quiet moments. You may not be able to get quiet days. You need to tap out. You need to tap out. 10 minutes. You can get a lot done in 10 minutes. You can get a shower. You can get a shower with your favorite bath gel in 10 minutes. There are a lot of things that we can do with our time when we're very deliberate about it. And during that time, light a candle, burn some bakur, play some Quran, do something that does not involve another human being. You are going to have to find you moments of just where you can relax internally. Parenting is hard. Being home with children day in and day out, it's hard. You know, I remember I stayed home with my last two children for about, I don't remember how long it was. And they're less than 2 years apart. And so I was breastfeeding two children at the same time. And I remember one particular day, I put my daughter in her crib. And I shut the door, and she was crying, and I knew she wasn't hungry. I knew she was clean. Her diaper was changed, and I just went and I just sat. And I hate how I feel, even as I talk about it. I still feel a certain way because this was not my best mom moment. But I was full. I was so full that day, and she needed something from me that I could not give her. And so in that moment, I made sure I was not safe because I wasn't going to hurt my baby. And I really didn't want her to have a bad experience with me. So I just separated myself from her, and I just took myself a few minutes. And after I was better, I went back and I got my baby. And she's an 18-year-old beautiful daughter today. She doesn't even remember it. I do, because it wasn't my best moment. But I had to go and get something for myself so that I could give her what it was she needed. Look for the moments, okay? You're not a bad mother. You are a human being having an experience. It is hard. It's very difficult. And people will diminish being a stay-at-home mom, or you're just home with kids all day. You do it. You stay home with children all day and see how well you function. See how clean you are and how many complete sentences you can put together at the end of the day. It's an achievement, and I commend you. I commend you so much for what it is that you are trying to do. I want you to be fair to yourself. Don't look for perfection. I want you to look for, one, keeping yourself complete, and keeping your children safe and happy, and giving them the best parts of yourself when you can. And when you can, it's going to be about you pulling away from them, okay? Inshallah. All right. So Faisal said, okay, so we have a husband who's up here in the About Islam Facebook Live trying to make sure no one comes after his wife. How sweet. How sweet. Okay, so Ramisa, you said you're going to open up an Islamic daycare. All right, I have a bunch of people here on About Islam Live. What's today's date? It's February 13th. All right, so first we're going to make dua that Allah is going to make it so. Ameen. May Allah make it so. May He clear the path for you and allow you to do it with ease. Ameen. Secondly, we have all of these people here who all saw you say that this is what you're going to do. Okay? So, inshallah, you're going to do that, and you're going to assist the ummah. I pray you have success. Wa alaikum salam, Tamika. It's happy to see you here. Yes, Jules. Jules said to get a whole 10-minute shower. Jules, my oldest child is 28. And you know what? Because I've been a mother for so long, my youngest is 16, I still take 3-minute showers. A 10-minute shower, which I don't even know if I could stay in there that long. I'm so conditioned to 3-minute showers that now it's my habit. This is those motherhood will train you, right? Being able to go to the restroom by yourself at all. All right, so I'm going to go. Oh, we have another mom question. Okay, so I'm a mom of 4 kids, and they are aged 6 months, 2, 4, and 7. My day is full. They need me in every single detail of their daily life. I'm sure of that. This causes a huge problem between me and my husband. He feels that he is single without a wife all the time. He complains that I am ignoring him and I don't give him enough time like my kids. I don't mean to be like that in dealing with him. I'm just leaving him for his work, and I'm trying to fulfill my duty as a mother for my kids. I've heard this one before. This is a hard one, particularly for those who become parents very early within their marriage. Let's say you get married and you're still learning each other as a couple, and you find yourself with having children very early, and you still haven't learned who the other person is as a husband and wife. However, I want all of us to be mindful that when you become a parent, while there is definitely a priority, and if you have children that are 6 months, 2, 4, and 7, I am wondering, when does she sleep? Yeah, I know that you are busy and the children consume your time, but this is going to be about taking some structured time to be able to give your husband some attention, and I can give you some tips on how you can do it without it it feeling like it has to be very settled. We have to sit down. We have to have tea together. No, there are some ways that you can do it. Okay, first, I want to bring your attention to something that you said. And you said, well, I'm just helping him out by leaving him to his work. Your husband is saying, I don't want that. He's saying he wants his wife. So while you may feel like you are doing him a favor, and I'm pretty sure he does need to finish his work, what he is also saying that in order to be motivated, he needs to have his wife. So one of the things that you can do is, and ladies, listen, this is how we can get it in with the husbands really, really quickly. Give him an amazing greeting when he comes in from home. It doesn't take long. Give him an amazing greeting. Give him a kiss. Give him a dua when he comes in through the door. Meet him with a snack because dinner may not be ready just yet, or it may not be time for dinner just yet. How long is this going to take? This is literally going to take maybe 60 seconds. And then go back to what it is that you're doing. Give him increments. It's the moments, y'all. I'm telling you, it is the moments. It is the moments. We think that, it has to be an hour. It has to be 30 minutes. It has to be a whole afternoon. No. People just need bits of connection, including children. Your husband is looking for bits of connection. So give him this very warm greeting when he comes in. Maybe invite him to sit down and to talk to you while you're cooking and while you're preparing dinner. That's a few moments. When he's working, come through. Give him a kiss on his forehead. Pat his head, bring him some tea or his favorite drink, and sit there and just look at him for about 30 minutes and smile. Don't say anything. He just wants to cut a connection with you. These are very, very, very small things that you can do for him. Okay? All right, so I want you to think about it in moments. The man is he just wants some attention. Just try that. If it doesn't work, come back. Let us know here at About Islam and we'll see what we can do. But I want you to concentrate on putting in bids of connection. When you serve him his food for dinner, and I do hope you do serve him. If you don't, try it. Prepare his plate for him. Let him know what's on it. Who cares if he already recognizes what lamb is? Let him know, baby, today I prepared lamb for you. I know how you like it. Let him know that was done for him. All right, maybe it was the only thing you had in the refrigerator today. It's okay. Let him know, even though that's still what you did for him. All right, you did it for the family. Everyone's going to eat it. But you get what I'm saying. Put in a bit of connection. Allow him to have moments where he does feel special and he feels like there is an attention that was given just for him. Okay? All right, so I want to, inshallah, if you start doing those things, if you start putting in the bits of connection, I'm really hoping that will see some change for you. Lastly, you also said, I'm trying to fulfill my duty as a mother for your kids. Yes, you are. Sounds like you're putting a lot of effort into it. Remember, the way that you became a mother is you were a wife first. You cannot neglect your duty as a wife because you are now a mother. It's not easy. I know. I've done them both. Matter of fact, I'm still doing them both. But you are a mother because you were a wife. Don't neglect him, inshallah. All right. So, again, we have another mother question. Today obviously was the Mother Day, okay? About Islam, they usually have a theme when they give me the questions, and I don't know what the theme is going to be until I get the questions. And so here at question number 4, I finally caught on to the thing. It took me a while, y'all. How can a mother balance between her baby and her enterprise work. You know, and I believe that this goes back to some of the tips that I've given to before. Again, this is where I want women to think out of the box. We always believe that being a mother and working means that I have to get up, and I have to get up early in the morning, and I have to leave my baby at daycare, and I have to miss my baby all day, and I have to come back. No, it doesn't. I'm going to give you an idea of something that I did. My son, he got on the school bus. I don't remember what time it was, but but to get him on the school bus, I would have been late for work. And even if I took him to school, I still would have been late for work, because at that time his school didn't start until like 9:15, which is kind of late. Most places you have to be at work before 9:15 a.m. So this is what I did. I told them, look, because I did want the job. I will be here by, I was able to get there by 9:45. I can be here by 9:45. I will not take a lunch. I will work hard for you as much as I can, as long as I am here during the day. I want to be honest with you, and you be honest with yourself as an employer. You have people here who are working 8 hours a day. You don't get 8 hours of work out of them. I know you don't. People they go to lunch, they have little huddles where they talk to each other and they laugh. Those are normal parts of the workday. I will tell you, I will not participate in those things as much as I possibly can. And I will work very hard for you for about 7 hours a day. But I will need to come to work later than your other people, and I will have a working lunch every day. I worked there for well over a year. He agreed. It sounded like a win-win to him. He had someone who's saying, I just need to come in late so I can be with my child, so I can make sure that my son gets to school safely. And in exchange for that, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to perform for you better than I would under normal circumstances, because you are going to meet my primary need as a mother. I want to be an employee, but before I am an employee, I am a mother, and that means more to me than being your employee. But the two are right there together. He agreed to it. And see, and this is what I mean. We have to think outside of the box. See what it is that you can offer, and that will be able to be a win-win for both of you. Someone said, I remember my nephew was 2 and he would throw things at the bathroom door when his mom was shower. Someone else, Jewel, said my son is 14, and I just told someone the other day that 3.5-minute showers are long. If you can't get time to get ready, at least put some perfume on. You want to put the perfume on to mask the funk so you can't smell. So you can't smell. I agree, Faisal. We should. We need to let our kids see how a couple should be, because as parents, we are the first ones to teach our children about love. And they do. They need to see a husband and wife show love. They need to see love and affection, because if they don't see it, you really are raising cold-hearted children. And it doesn't mean that they can't learn to be loving people, but teach them to be loving people. All right. Okay, so my second child does not like our newborn baby. She is aggressive with him. What can we do? Oh, this is a difficult one. And you also said it's a newborn baby. And being that it's a newborn, obviously this is new for your child. And this is one of those things where I'm going to say it will take time, first of all. Secondly, you can reinforce your child's role and presence with your newborn baby's life. The baby, for example, you can say things like, wow, You get to be a big sister. This child came to our house, and one of the first things he got was a family, and you were part of this family. How cool is that? Thank you so much, big girl, for being a part of our family and showing this to the baby. I don't know if I would recommend having the child do things for the baby. He or she may not be able to do that. I would recommend, because usually we do that. Oh, baby, will you go get mommy the bottle? Will you go get mommy a diaper? I may not recommend that. I don't know the dynamic. So what I would encourage is, because it's a newborn, and pretty much at that stage, they sleep and poop. That's pretty much and eat. They sleep, poop, and eat. That is the extent of their life. So you actually still have a lot of time, a lot of downtime where you can you can spend time with your daughter. And that's what I'm going to suggest that you do, that you use that time when your baby's sleeping, perhaps when your baby is nursing, that you spend eye contact with you when you talk to her, give her eye contact. When you speak to her, come down to her level. Don't stay up at your adult level. These are very, very small things that can make a difference, because once again, your daughter is looking for bits of connection. Okay? All right, so last one for today is I'm a mother raising her children alone, and I'm afraid my child will get affected by not growing up in a full family. She sees her father once a week. I just heard a full family. I just heard of a child who's with a mother and who sees her father once a week. I am not impressed by people who have two parents in the home. Just because people have two parents in the home does not mean that they have two loving and present parents. It just means that they have two parents in the home. And while we know that that is the traditional design, because of what I do, I work with many families, I can tell you that having a parent in the home does not mean that they are going to be present. If she has a father that she sees once a week, and you didn't give any indication, good or bad, about his parenting, so I'm going to think the best of him. And if he is doing the best that he can during that time, she may be better than a whole lot of other people. Is she loved? And that's going to be the key thing. Is she loved? That is a full family. If she has two people, because you can have a child who is in the house with mom, dad, grandma, and a bunch of siblings, and they don't feel loved, and they feel very alone. So if the two of you invest in her, and create your village. And what do I mean by that? We all have our families that we're born into. And sometimes our families are small, or we don't have a lot of relatives, or for whatever reason, those families are not close. And what you can do is you create your own village. You can create aunties from your friends. You can create aunties and uncles from the people next door to you. They can become a part of your family. Create a family village for your daughter. Doesn't always have to be a blood relative. Just make sure that these are people that she trusts. And she will know just as much love as any other child. Inshallah. Okay? Don't criticize yourself or feel guilt, because I don't have the ideal setup for her. Do you have ideal time? Do you have ideal love? Do you have ideal connection? Are you ideally teaching her about her Lord? That is ideal. Inshallah. Okay, those are all of my questions that I have right now. I am very quickly going to go over here and check and see if anything came in while I've been over here running my mouth with you all. You all have just been so good and so fun with me for today. And I don't have any other questions. You ready to go to class? Okay. Come over here and say hi to the people that about is now. Y'all remember the daughter I told you about? Say hi, sit bend down so they can see you. She's getting ready to go to class. She's coming over here to get her cards for school. Is that all of them? See, I'm a mom. They even interrupt your Facebook lives. Have a good day. Okay. She's a college student. So let's see. Someone said, is it possible to raise a good child being one parent in the home? Two parents doesn't equal safety and happiness. You're exactly right, Jules. And I think based on how I answered the last question, you probably know that I totally agree with that. Because I have seen two parents in the house, in the home, and they don't always perform well as parents. Just because there are two parents in the house, it doesn't mean that a child is having the benefit or the experience of a two-parent household. Okay, so no, I totally agree that as long as we create a safe and loving and protective village for a child. Okay, someone said, so true. My dad walked out on my mom and I still turned out great. But alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me with a good man that showed me that men can be better than anything my father was. See, exactly. I believe that love can come from anywhere, you know, and I tell people, you know, if you have a son, look to the barber. You're going to get his hair cut, right? So your barber can be a great source of connection. Your child's football coach, your soccer coach. There are so many places where you can get a good, strong example for what it is that you want to teach. And it doesn't have to be through a parent. Create your village. Okay. Oh, my daughter's adorable. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. I appreciate it. I'm very, very blessed to be able to have her. All right. Thank you all so much. Please come back to About Islam. Join our Facebook Live. Go back to the site. You can online or social media. You can also go to aboutislam.net. There's always a wealth of information. Set your notifications up so that you can get the notifications when someone does go live. You don't want to miss anything, and you never know what the topic is going to be here. One of the beautiful things about Islam is that they really don't negate or dismiss or ignore the real problems and the real things that our community is in dealing with and that we're seeing, which is why I'm so fortunate and one I'm happy to see as a Muslim, but I'm so fortunate to be a part of that. There are real life things that we're all dealing with, that we're all thinking about, and if it's out there, you can probably find it on About Islam. And if you're looking for me, you can find me at thatclaycouple.com. ThatClayCouple. That Clay Couple. I'll put it up here. Thatclaycouple.com. All right. And that is where you can find me. I pray that Allah blesses you all and grants you his favor. Ameen. Please have a beautiful day. Keep us, everyone here at About Islam, in your dua, and everyone here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.